Welcome back to Elevate the Global Commerce Summit. We're here at the Miami Beach Convention Center. No complaints there.
Nope.
I'm Patricia Wu, your host, along with my co-host and analyst, Scott Hebner. So I don't know about you, but my head is spinning with what the future of commerce looks like.
It was truly a fascinating day today. I live in this world of technology, particularly AI. I'm hearing from, I've talked to 70 to 100 vendors over the last year or so, and it was really a new perspective because it was in the context of what we all do every day, which is we buy things, we go shopping, and increasingly online. And I thought it was really fascinating to hear about how the world of AI is being applied to this part of our lives.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things, speaking of shopping, that product demo.
Yeah.
I mean, for our viewers who couldn't be in the room, walk us through that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was Agentic AI coming to life in a very personal experience. It was hyper-personalized, I thought, and it was all like so simple. It was unbelievable. I mean, they took a picture of the watch band. I guess wanted a new.
Right, he had the meta glasses on, right?
Yeah, the meta glasses on. Took a picture with that of the glasses. You could probably use your iPhone too. And then it went to an agent, and then the agent went off, and there was a couple conversations here and showing what kind and color, and it would go off and find all this options for you, give you some advice, and then basically help conduct the actual transaction. And it knew my name and it was just it was an experience. It wasn't a transaction.
Right.
And it was very much what commerce is going to become in the future, just a natural extension of what you would normally do in a store, right? You're looking around and you see something. It's not like a transactional thing anymore.
Right, I mean, that's the emotionally resonant experience that we kept hearing about. And what's so cool is it's not just recommending things anymore, it's actually executing. Yeah. So I'm thinking this could help with upping my fashion game. And I wonder if the day is coming where it says, you know what, you haven't, it's time for some new gym sneakers. And if it's not time, that means you haven't been running enough. So we're going to get you a new pair so you can get out there.
Yeah, and it's going to say, well, and I just talked to your workout agent, and she reported back that you've been slacking.
Right, you haven't been to the gym.
You haven't been to the gym. Maybe you ought to go buy a gym membership, and while you're at it, get some new clothing and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's, when you start to truly be able to wire these agents together, and they're able to discover each other and create new relationships, I mean, you can envision what's going to happen here. Now, is it going to be a couple years out, 3 years out? I mean, at some point, this is all going to happen. And then you throw in all these, robots that are going to be able to do things.
Right.
I mean, I bet you 5 years from now, we're not going to even recognize what we did today.
Oh, I don't even know 5 years. I think maybe even at next year's summit, we may be talking about something completely new.
Right.
I'm thinking like maybe my grocery agent's going to say, I swapped out those 2 pints of rum raisin and mint chocolate chip for some microgreens and organic dates.
Yeah.
And that brings me to what I heard, which I couldn't believe. We talked to Sherry Mosenson-Erez from Commercetools, and also the founder of Commercetools, Dirk Heurig, about how 30% of online shopping will be agentic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a mind-boggling number.
It is. And what was the number? It was 2.8 trillion worth of value.
Right.
I think it was 2030.
By 2030, which is less than 5 years away.
5 years away. So that's the definition of transformational. The other thing I learned at this conference about Commercetools is their strategy that goes back a long time sets them up perfectly for this agentic world, because they built this notion of composable commerce. And it's not just a term, it's based on an alliance that they established a long time ago called MACH, M-A-C-H. M is microservices, A is API, C is cloud native, and H is headless.
See, I learned that today.
Yeah, right, and those are the attributes of an architecture, because in the world of agentic AI, architecture matters more than ever. In fact, one of my colleagues and I, George Gilbert, just did a podcast on why architecture matters more than ever with agentic AI, and they brought that to life here because they've lived that. That's what their business is built on. So it sets them up to do that kind of demo that we saw today, where Composable commerce allows you to plug these things together. They made the announcement about MCP support, so that's the model context protocol where agents can share context with each other and be able to communicate and essentially understand each other's decisions. So they've really established a foundation for B2C and B2B customers to start to really innovate at speed here.
Right, which, what was striking about that B2B conversation is just that they have a lot of catching up to do. Like the B2C is much further ahead, and the time is now.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. It's a big challenge, but if you don't take the challenge, you may never catch up.
Right,
and I thought that was a stark statement. If you think about that, if you don't start doing something now, and I buy into that because the innovation cycles, if you think about this, the transformational periods around technology have been, what, a decade? And then with cloud, maybe it was 6 or 7 years. Gen AI's been on the scene for 2.5, 3 years, now we're on to Agentic. These innovation cycles are just speeding up. And if you fall behind, literally you may never catch up. And the composability is what's key here because that allows you to plug and play with new innovations, new ideas through an ecosystem of providers so you get best of breed. And you're right, the big message was if you're a B2B, when you're doing commerce in the B2B space, it's time to re-platform and re-architect for the future, right? Don't be, it's more of a risk not to change now than it is to actually de-platform.
Right, I mean, Andrew Burton, the CEO of Commercetools, he opened the day with that bold challenge to, either be disrupted or lead the reimagination.
Yeah, that was the overriding message, right? And it was about, hyper-personalization. It was about reimagining the experience.
Right.
So that it's not a transaction, it's an actual experience, right? And then enable it to be intelligently guided. In other words, you're going to have an agent or a shopping companion, I think he used the word companion, that's going to be there to help you, say, something, I'm getting tired of this watch band. I want a new watch band. I need to change it up a little bit. And you just take a picture of it, like, the demo, and let the agent go off and, and it may know a lot about you and what your styles are and your clothes. I mean, you can just start to imagine the possibilities here. Obviously, you would enable it to know what you want it to know, but it goes off and does all the heavy work for you on, here's some options for you, here's why I think you would like them.
Right. And
then you choose one, maybe just through voice, and it goes off and buys it for you and it shows up on the doorstep. I mean, it's just, it's so much different than going out like you would today and having to do a search, and then you read about it, and then you basically are executing a transaction.
Right.
It becomes more human.
Yeah, everything is transforming. I mean, from the online search, which we just started with basic filters, now we get the agentic AI recommendations and execution, right? And also digital payments. I loved how they were talking about how, the loyalty programs, instead of standing there at the checkout, we've all been there, you've been there, and you want to sign up for that rewards program so you get your points, but you're struggling with the little stylus to type in your email or your phone number. Now they can just ID you through payments.
Yeah, it's crazy. The other thing I found really interesting too, which I frankly never thought of, was usually you use search to find a site you want to go buy from. And you go to that site and you buy it. This idea that the buy button now can be exposed in any AI agent anywhere. So if you're using Google AI agents or you're using Microsoft's or whatever, right, copilots, right within that experience, if you see something that you want to buy, you can actually buy it right there. You don't have to necessarily link to the website to buy it. So what that means is that these commerce sites are going to be dynamically integrated into agents that perhaps it wasn't even built to work with, but it can be exposed and transacted through.
Right.
Now, if you do a search and you do that, okay, push the button, I don't have to go to the website. But imagine what's possible as you start getting really creative here, right? Like you said, I got to go work out more, I got to get a gym member. I mean, it can bring you through a plan and then dynamically identify where to buy different things and do it all without you visiting any of those websites.
Right, when you say imagine what's possible, that relentless pace of change is the only thing that's not changing.
Right.
It's just going to get faster and faster and faster. And I think the core message that we kept hearing, from the customers of Commercetools is that composable commerce is the foundation. It's the key that allows you to be able to adapt dynamically.
Yeah, and it's going back to George Gilbert and the conversation I had with him a couple weeks ago. Architecture really matters in this new world of AI. AI is the ultimate team sport when it comes to high tech, because so many different things have to work together and so many different professions and people have to work together. Very different than the cloud era or mobile or going back into the e-business world. I mean, this is truly, because what you're trying to do is mimic people and help people do what they do and know how they think and make them more productive. So it's really about digital labor to help you, right? Give you superpowers to shop better, to make better decisions, to plan whatever you're trying to do. So you need all this stuff to work together. You're not going to get that unless you have a composable architecture that is being built upon. And then, like they announced here at the show, the MCP protocol, so you can share context. And it is a world where this microservices-based architecture you can call out APIs, it's cloud native, so you have the economics. It's headless, so you can put different user interfaces or different agents that are able to communicate with people. I mean, that's really what's needed as a foundational architecture to build into the world of AI agents, and they're already there in the world of commerce.
Right, and the time is now. The future is now, as we kept hearing over and over again.
Yeah, and we heard all these great transformational stories from the
Pet
Vitamin
Value,
Shop.
Vitamin Shop.
Yeah, so it came to life, and we heard from Google, and it's been a great show. It's been hot down here, but it's been a great show.
Right, like I kept saying, the only thing hotter has been the future of commerce, but bump.
There you go.
All right, that does it for us. That is a wrap from the Miami Beach Convention Center. We've been covering Elevate, Commercetools Elevate, the Global Commerce Summit. And we want to thank you, Commercetools, for bringing us here. This has been a fantastic event. I've got so much food for thought coming out of here.
Too.
I'm going to be thinking about this for a long time.
And parrots?
Yes, and parrots. Well, we're talking to the guys from Pet Value, and we're saying the parrot is going to learn how to order the treats, and the agent is just going to execute it.
Right, because he has another 30 years to live.
Exactly. Imagine what it's going to look like in 30 years. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We are so happy you've been here with us, and we will see you at the next one. That does it for us. You're watching theCUBE, the leader in enterprise tech news and analysis.